Hi, and we are live. So, good evening and welcome to the first ever episode of the Million Dollar Founder. Aimed at ambitious founder, this podcast would provide guidance on how to scale a startup to the $1 million milestones, touching a key business strategies, funding, market, and many more. We have our first guest to this show, $1 million founder, who is an investor, business mentor, building India's first and only HNI mastermind community. Happy to welcome Mr. Kashif Karnala, 10 Crore Club.
Thank you so much, Kumar. And this is because fantastic because I have been doing content on Tenko Club, and it is so fantastic to have you as a host. And I'm so excited, and really wish you all the best. And yes, Kumar, let's start the program. All the best.
Fantastic. I think we'll have to open the video. I'm not able to see the video. Sorry for that.
Okay. Okay. Is it good now?
No.
Are you on the same tab?
Yeah.
Okay.
The audio is clear, but the video is not popping up.
So can you see my video? Can you see my video?
No, I'm not able to see the video.
Okay. Can you send me a screenshot of what you see on WhatsApp?
Okay.
Okay. So my video is not seen. You can see your own video, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Is it now better? Back?
No. Not able to see.
So I'll refresh my page and I'll join back. Okay, then you can add me back.
Sure. Technical glitch always happens with all the time during the internet era, and when there is a bad weather in the entire India. So let's wait for some time till Kashyap is joining. So this podcast will be more towards
Okay, is it better now?
yes. Now it's best.
Let's start. Okay, it's all good. Start. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay.
Go. Yeah. So
So-
welcome once again. Very happy to host as the first guest in this entire show. Super excited to kickstart this journey. So how has it been a day? Maybe let's start with that particular thing. And I've seen that you have visited some business networking forum or conference or something. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll start that and then we'll move on to the next.
Yes. So today I had been to the TIE summit, and it was fantastic to meet a lot of founders from multiple sectors. And I had an opportunity to showcase about our work, and people were really excited because I think one of the key insights I got from the conference today was India. This is a time for India. This is a time for India because India is going to become the next big thing. It is going to be the trillion-dollar economy, and is going to become the 15 trillion, 20 trillion by in the next 25 years. This is where the whole momentum is. So if people have left the country, this is the time to reverse migrate to come back.
That's a fantastic news to kickstart the journey. So, when I reviewed your LinkedIn profile, it said investor, business mentor, building India's first and only HNI mastermind community, 10 Crore Club. So, what was the journey all about? Like, what inspired you to start this community, especially for early stage startups and for the founders who wants to scale up their business? What was the inspiration to begin this journey?
Yeah, so I think I have been part of other networks, other ecosystems, and I realized there was so much of motivation going on, and there was no real grounded platform where people could come together and really learn from each other, really sit together and talk about the problems. Because as entrepreneurs, we go through a lot of struggle. By looking at people who are super successful and like getting inspired, it doesn't count into money. And we wanted to create a platform which is going to be realistic, which is about money. And the whole intention of the 10 Crore Club that we started was to make sure that every activity, every action is towards revenue generation. So a lot of times
Fantastic.
founders forget why they do what they do, right? Like that is the reason why we have put this 10 Crore Club right up to tell them, because 90, probably 95% of founders throughout their lifetime don't even touch 10 crore. It is a forgotten dream. So the idea of the 10 Crore Club is to make sure to remind founders that, hey, you are no longer in a job. The idea is to scale. 10 crore is just a landmark. Like, and of course, after 10 crore, there is 100 crore. It doesn't matter, right? So the multiple. The idea is to make that dream a reality for founders. That is the intention of the platform we started off.
So that's a mastermind community where you are mentoring. But before mentoring, of course, you could have started your own entrepreneurial journey. So how did like that started, and what was your journey all along before
So before,
starting this mentoring?
yeah, so before I did this, I was working on my own hardware startup. It's all about elderly care, and it was a fantastic idea, of course. But what happened is it took a lot of time. Every iteration, unlike in a software iteration, you do finish in 3 months time. You have a new version coming. But for us, it was every time it is 6 months, because it is a hardware.
Okay.
All the design, everything. It was going through long process. And being a self-funded startup, it was so tough to maintain it. So we had to like let go of it. And then I realized that I wish I someone could have cut short my journey of learning, and they would have helped me either to get funded or taken me to next level. So that was the intention for me to restart my journey in my second innings. That's where we started in the whole producing content like you're doing right now. Content, I started out doing lives. My show, the name of the show was called Mentor Mondays. I used to do it on Mondays every 8 o'clock, and it has been. I mean, my content. And it's not about how many fans I created, but I think the idea is those people who saw me, they started giving me value, and that's what mattered, right? It's not about the volume, number of views. It's not about how big. It's all about the quality of the connections you're able to create, and that's what was my starting point.
Okay. I was assuming that I mean hardware would be more simple than the software. I'm just realizing from your answer that it was even more iterative and lengthy process.
Yes.
Okay. So when you say 10 crore club, it is more towards strategic investments and mergers and acquisitions. So how did this came up with your idea? Because it may be like a mentoring. Okay, you do this, you do that, you facilitate something, but it is more focused towards strategic investments and M&A. So how
Yes.
that popped up?
Yeah, so it's an evolution. It's an evolution. I have done my MBA, and MBA was into general strategy, not all about finance, because M&A is all about a lot of high tech finance. So we didn't start off as 10 Crore Club in 2018. We didn't start there. We started off with Find My Mentors, where it was all about as a platform to help, to connect with mentors and mentees. That was the intention. So from there, what happened is, we launched in December. I could share the journey we started, our origin story. I think it's important to know. So in December, we launched our platform, because before that I was doing online content. I didn't know how to monetize it. I didn't know about that. In December, we launched a website called findmymentors.com. And we thought, okay, just start the website, and we're going to like get a lot of people coming and asking for mentors, because mentoring is a big thing in the US market. We thought it is going to be similar, but nobody gave a damn about this. It was very disappointing. But I get a call on, I remember 25th of December, from this person called Prashant. He's a founder of this investment platform called Horses Stable. Horses Stable calls me up and said, Kashyap, can I
Okay.
borrow your logo? Find My Mentor City. It is a very catchy name. He said, can I borrow your logo for our upcoming Shark Tank, like kind of a our launch. He said, okay. I said, why not? You can use the logo, and he ended up he started using, and they launched the whole their process table and all the big launch they did, and they were into funding startups, and we were not associated with them. But in February, he calls me up and says, Kashyap, to continue to be a partner, to continue to be a sponsor, you need to pay us X number of lakhs of rupees. Now, as a startup, we didn't have money, and that's when we started on our own journey. That why can't we do it on our own? Why do we need to depend on someone else? So by that time, because the good thing about content is by doing content like this, by recording, we get to meet a lot of amazing people. So I ended up doing an interview like this, like you're doing with me in January with someone called Sovan. This was in January. And then our visions matched, and we decided, okay, let us do it together. The business, we can do it together. And he joined us as a co-founder for 5 mentors. So now in February, we decided that why don't we launch our own investment platform? Why don't we do it on our own? Because we have connections with investors. And then we spoke to a few investors, and then we said, hey, look, we can bring to you startups who, why don't you connect with them? We started off there. And the long story short, from there, there's no looking back. We have been growing up. And you asked me a question about, how did this investment and the M&A and all that happen? So we launched our platform, the investment platform, in April of 2019. And it was a simple, at that point, it was only startup pitch place where people apply for investment, and then we curate them, and our investors would look at it if they're interested or not. So that was my first ever exposure to the whole startup investment world. But then by connecting with investors, after we're talking about through the COVID time, by talking to other investors who have been doing a lot of these investments, I understood the real game. The real game is not this angel investments or this VC investment. The real game is buying and selling companies. That was my big aha moment, and that is the reason we remodeled in the second phase, the second launch of Ten Crore Club after the pandemic. We restarted the whole approach of community itself. Now, compared to people who know us before pandemic and after pandemic, we have absolutely gone through next level of iteration. Basically, that is a mergers and acquisition. We can talk more because I think we'll do many more discussions on that. That is right now. It's all about exit. Thinking about exiting your business. And that is what is our platform about. Yeah. Okay. You have a next question?
Internet.
Yeah. So
sometimes it is lagging and getting freeze.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you can ask me the next question. I can continue.
Yeah, we'll continue. We'll see how best.
Yeah.
So it looks like there is a wide variety of experience, undergoing realization. Multiple things happens when you have went for a solo entrepreneurial journey or starting a club, meeting multiple founders, all that. So what is the most challenging moment in your entrepreneurial journey or in this membership journey, and how did you resolve it? What was very, very challenging moment?
Yeah, see, I think, we got lucky actually. When we started the Ten Crore Club, we had an amazing momentum going on. Okay, it was so easy to people would come, they become member. It was kind of we were in a complete haze. It was like honeymoon period. Everything was going fine. But the real lesson happened when we took a beating because of the pandemic, because we had to we are an in-person meeting place, and for us it was very easy to say, hey, join the membership, right? Because people, when they touch and feel and when they come to our meetups, they understand who we are, they're able to relate to us. The real challenge I faced is when we wanted to relaunch this membership concept online. I had a call with someone in Kolkata, okay, and she was an entrepreneur, and I thought, hey, join our membership. Join our membership. I said, okay. I mean, I was telling her join our membership. She said, why should I join your membership? This was the first time ever I got a question like that. why should I join the membership? Kind of, I was like, never expected a question because I wasn't ready for that question, right? So
Right.
now, that is the biggest challenge, because to convince someone to become a member, it is not so
Hmm.
easy. Like it looks like, correct? Like right now, you see we
Right.
are enrolling members pretty well because we have the momentum. So my lesson is momentum is everything in business, right? Once you have the momentum, we can keep building it up, building it up, building it up. So now we are able to take up also online membership as well. It is easy right now. So
Hmm.
because in the whole wide world of internet, we're talking about during the pandemic,
Hmm.
everyone is doing Zoom. So if I also become a Zoom based membership thing, it has absolutely no value. So if you if you're going at a high speed and then suddenly like you take a sharp turn, you're gonna have an
Hmm.
accident, right?
True.
That's,
True.
that's exactly what happened with us as well. So now that was the lesson for me. The
Hmm. Hmm.
toughest
Hmm.
thing I did was like, why should anyone join our membership? And that made us think a lot about what is the value that I need to create. When someone
Hmm.
has to join as a member, leaving behind their other alternatives they have, what is it?
Hmm.
What is the value that we need to create? And that was a whole discovery journey that I went through to design the whole platforms from scratch again. Before pandemic, what was working, we realized that that's no longer going to be true. So
Right.
we started. The design is so fantastic right now. So you see, it's all very very well integrated. The HMIs and the meetups and the referrals and the business exchange, everything is going fantastic right now.
Mm-hmm. So challenge made your product development R&D even more better, where you have expanded your entire thing, challenging other platforms or possibilities that way. I mean, always how we are taking it, how we are labeling, that matters a lot. I think you use that challenge into an opportunity and made it a little more bigger, so that there is no question about it tomorrow. Right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So all along, maybe entrepreneurial journey, membership, multiple other things. So how do you define success for both you and your clients? What is the definition of success when you say these kind of things?
Yeah, very good question. See, success, I think, for for me is contribution. Impact is what I count myself in. Okay, and I'm very very guilty when I'm not able to deliver. When I take up money, I want to make sure that I deliver on what was agreed, and I'm very clear about my deliverables, and I make sure that I can get confirmation that they're happy about the deliverable, right? And also about the client, what for us as a community at the community level, or when we do consulting as well. So what matters to me is that we have moved them to the next level. No longer are they at the same level, because it's a journey. Entrepreneurship is a journey. It's for example, it is in our 10 crore club, it is a journey towards a destination. It can be 10 crore for someone, it can be 100 crore for someone. We want people to go to the next level. Okay, and
Okay.
that's what gives me that satisfaction that we have done something. We don't want people to go back to their old lives after they have gone through either a program or through a meeting. We want to make sure that people change their behaviors, they change their choices, and they grow their business, and that's what really makes us who we are.
No, I can be a great witness because of the last summit which I have visited. It's a complete unique experience where you made a possibility of referral system with the business networking people, where we meet first time. But this is not happens with most of the membership, where we just exchange visiting cards, come back and forget. Okay, so
Yes.
that I can really witness it. Okay, fine. Let's move on to more towards your 10 crore club and HNI ecosystem right now. So what are the top three qualities you look for in founders while considering uh, to become a member of your HNI master community?
Fantastic question. So now, see, we need three things to be successful in anything in life, right? One is the desire to go to the point B, and
Hmm.
second is the right map. Like, how do I go to my destination? Like, it's like Google Map, similar to that. We need to have a map. How do I go? It's a plan. And the third
Hmm.
very important thing is the right support system. And these three
Okay.
are very important. So answering your question about what are things we look for, we look for people who are hungry to grow. If someone says, hey, I'm happy, hey, I'm
Hmm.
happy, the first criteria itself fails, isn't it? If someone is
Okay.
happy, and if someone is happy doing a 50 lakh rupees or 1 crore,
Ah.
and they don't want to move forward, they think they're doing the best ever business, there's
Hmm.
nothing that you and me can do about it, correct? We don't want people like that. We want people to be hungry, because we want people who have that 10x mindset. So we have a 10x summit as well, right? We have that hunger to grow. and we are a money-minded people. I don't have a shame to talk about it. We are a money-minded people, very much. So that's
Right.
what is yeah.
Okay. So that brings me another question, like how do you evaluate whether this startup is ready to scale up for this 10 crore or 100 crore or even 1000 crore? So this is an evaluation process, right? Where you
Mhm.
have clearly defined these are the expectations from my side and expectation setting and all that. But how do you evaluate whether this startup is ready for that?
Yeah, fantastic. I think this is coming from the context of investment. So when we look at any business, uh, uh, to invest into an asset like that, so we look for basically three things. It's called GFS: grandfather, father, and son. So G
Okay.
stands for this industry. If the industry is going fine, it is pretty well, right? We are interested in
Hmm.
that industry. It can be
Hmm.
healthcare, fintech, or some evergreen industries as well. F stands for father, which is the year on year growth. Is the business growing signs of growth every year? Because that is also telling us that there is a traction that is already in the business. We don't want to
Hmm.
work with businesses which are flat, absolutely flat. And the third thing is, of course, there are positive margins. So we know a lot of startups who have inflated revenues but no profits on books, correct? So
Hmm.
that's what we look at when it comes to investments. Answering a question about what kind of startups or businesses we want to onboard in our business, and we know it is ready for scale, is
Hmm.
when they have systems. When it is a systems driven business, or there is some things which is predictability, right? Predictability is important. If something I know, okay, even without the founder, this thing can continue to scale. We're looking at the predictability aspect of it. So when I find a smell of predictability, I know this is going to scale, because one time repetition is equal to 10 times repetition, 10 times repetition is equal to 100 times repetition as well.
True. It's only a duplicate effort. Yeah. Fine. Makes sense. So, in terms of mergers and acquisitions, especially, like, what role does it plays in a startup's level? Because to go into a level of M&A, it really needs a lot of time and energy, and as you said, systems and all that. So, where do you think this part comes? Like, okay, I'm ready for mergers and acquisitions. On what role does it play in a startup's life?
Yeah, so I mean that was also I was thinking about this M&A thing is for a lot of financial big words, and not for startups, only for big companies. I need to go
Yeah.
for a VC, I need to go for an angel. I used to think like that. But then when I realized the power of it and I understood the power of it, this is an escalator which can take a startup from zero to a something. It can really scale up some. It can take the startup to a big level, even from a scratch. The idea is it's as simple as playing the game of Ludo. You arrange things in a certain order and you create an opportunity, isn't it? And it is similar to that. Very similar to that is this M&A game. You arrange things in a certain order with certain things, certain different colored things, and then you bring synergy, and all
That's the
overnight.
magic.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Overnight, a startup can become valuable. On its own, it may not be valuable, but along with it's part of a bigger pie. It becomes so much more valuable. That was my
Okay.
biggest insight. That wow, this is massive. This is absolutely big time, right? So,
Okay.
yeah, any startup can do this. My point is, any startup can learn about the whole idea of deal creation. The whole thing I told you about the Lido arrangement, it is nothing called the art of creating a deal. So if
Mm-hmm.
you want to create a deal, you can do a lot of wonders.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, moving on to the next one, like for many startups, attracting investors or HNIs becomes a most critical challenge, and they don't even know how to attract people because they themselves are working on the product and research and customer acquisition, team management, multiple other things. So in that stage, attracting investors is becomes more challenging, or the level of awareness is very, very hard. So how do you think that works for a business, especially to get funds from investors?
Yeah. I think the whole idea is, I think we need to understand few numbers. Okay. The numbers are like this: 99.9, 99.5% of startups don't raise investment.
Oh,
It is very rare that a startup can raise investment. So we need to be clear about it, right? It is very similar to how either, let's say, in UPSC exam or CAT exam, or lakhs and lakhs of people apply to get those 1,000 seats or whatever, right? And every one of these lakhs of people think that they're going to be the one of those people, and I was also one of them. I'm telling you, I have gone through that journey as well. Similarly,
okay, okay.
also startups, they need to realize that just talking to an investor, wearing good suit boot and like talking good English is from IIM, whatever, right? It is not going to get them investment. The only reason an investor, a proper professional investor, also let me put it better, because there's some stupid investors also, like, can go to angels, they'll say, yeah, I like you, I'll give you money. That is not, it's just
Mhm.
an exception. We don't want to depend on them, right?
Right.
So we're talking about the real guys, the real professional investors. They're not doing
Mhm.
charity. They,
Mhm.
they are, so there's something called return on investment, right?
True.
They need to invest and then take return on the investment. So they're not doing
Mhm.
charity. They will invest
Mhm.
on you once you can prove to them that by putting your 1 rupee, it becomes 5 rupees or 10 rupees or 20 rupees or whatever. Correct?
Yeah.
So now, therefore, if you have a product, if you can prove to anyone that your idea, that means you must have done it on your own. If you can prove to them that 1 rupees has become already, with your own 1 rupee, with your own effort, if you're able to create 1 rupee into 5 rupees, you can prove to them that by their 1 rupee will actually become 5 rupees.
Right.
Then the investor will run behind you. The only reason any investment has ever happened throughout history is because of the fear of missing out.
My God. Okay. Okay. Mhm.
It is only because of fear of missing out. Because opportunity, people don't want to miss out on opportunities.
Mhm.
Like it is
Mhm.
like any sale, people don't want to miss out on sales. Similarly, investment, you're pitching for a sale of your stake of a business, and they should also have that hunger to take up, right? It's mutual. People should FOMO, and then they can invest into your business. It's very important to position your
There should
business.
be a need also. The market should also be ready to go on. I mean, have some future in it. All that makes a lot of sense.
Yes, yes.
Okay. 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 So far we have done a very, very serious conversation where we have done a lot of analytics. Let's move on to some fun activity so that it gains some momentum. So we have something called Founders Fast Lane, where it becomes like a rapid fire round, where I'll be asking very simple questions and you can tell me within 30 seconds. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Our first question would be, what's the most important metric a startup should track in the first year?
Number of customers, number of sales. Sales is the only thing that founder needs to focus on.
Okay, okay. Number two, what's the quickest way to secure a round of seed funding?
What is it? What is what?
What's the quickest way to secure a round of seed funding?
Telling them that they already have an interest from a larger company for a merger, or for a JV, or some sort of collaboration. That is just fastest way that they can get angel investment.
Okay, okay, okay. And the one which will be very challenging for you. Okay. So if you could invest in one type of startup right now, what would it be and why?
I would invest on a SaaS platform which helps founders to uh, you know for founders to organize their business.
Mm-hmm.
It can be setting goals, planning their organization. We're talking about OKR software. I'll tell you why. The reason why is, I think as founders, we are of course, there is a project management part of it. So this OKR is a beautiful system which creates goals at the company level, at the department level, and also at the person level. So now all these three things are very much important because com- the companies which have scaled are mission driven businesses. So it is that alignment is what creates that flow and that speed. So I would invest into a business which can organize, make the life of an entrepreneur better. So, and
Okay.
I know there are many other ideas as well because of the AI
Got
coming up. Lot of innovations. I think probably one more answer to that also question is, I know this is 30 second, but I'm just trying to more.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's good.
So the point, I think, anything which can reduce the time of execution,
Okay. Okay.
anything which can reduce the time of execution, bring that organizing into anyone's life, I would love to have a look at it.
Maybe like an automation where it reduce time,
Yes,
cost, and effort, kind of.
yes, and because of AI, that if it is able to also make some decisions in between as well for the customers,
True.
it is bring that result forward. If that is going to happen, it will be amazing.
Fine. 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 So, final question onto this segment would be: what's one piece of advice for building a company culture that attracts top talent, especially
Fantastic,
for start?
fantastic. I think now the idea of running a business is about hiring. I think the see we in India we have a term called udyogapati, correct?
Hmm. Hmm.
I think we need to. I think that is the essence of an entrepreneur, that you are here to create employment. I think that is the right definition. It's a right perspective as well,
Correct.
and that means you cannot. The idea also from that is you are not here to run your own business, but
Hmm.
someone else should run your business. That also tells that, okay, you should have someone else running your business. That's the second part of it. That means you must have a system driven business,
Correct.
right? So yeah. So what is the question again? I forgot the question.
That's what I think you made sense in terms of creating more and more employabilities
Mhm.
rather than sticking on to one job and shrinking our life, shrinking our entire system and all that. Wherein, see, I always believe that entrepreneurs have a different blood and skin where they have run out of the system, break the entire rules and create a new system which creates a lot of employability.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that way,
You're
I
talking about
think
employees. So yeah, employment. So basically, I think the idea of an entrepreneur is to make sure that you fulfill, you set the dream, and you
Hmm.
make sure it. I love this book called Employee Dream Manager. Dream Manager is a
Okay.
fantastic book. You are managing their dreams, okay? And how
Hmm.
if the beauty of it is, if you can connect the employee's dream with the growth of the company, you have a committed employee forever. Okay,
Hmm.
so to create a good culture in the organization, it is important that you must know your core values of your business, and you as a founder must live to those core values. And then we also need to define our own standards means that deliver, we say what we say, we deliver what we do. We must have our standards along with core values. So
Hmm.
once you are able to protect the core values and the standards, culture is a natural byproduct of it. That means there is a good self-respect. You're respecting everyone, because if you as a founder, if you're going to shout at someone, that means if respecting everyone is one of the core values, if you're not doing it, you're going against the culture of the organization, right? So we take feedbacks, things like this. So you culture is born out of the core values and the standards you define within the company.
Right, right, right. I think this discipline, respect, culture, all brothers, mutual brothers. So each one will align to its own respective culture. Makes a lot of sense. Coming on to the mainstream questions, coming again, I move on to the growth strategies part of it. Like, what are the key growth strategies you recommend for startups who are looking to scale up, especially next year, 2025? In your past experience, have dealt with a lot of hundreds of founders,
Yeah.
and what do you think is a key growth strategy for next year, especially 2025?
So I have a foolproof idea to grow, and I wish I knew this maybe five,
Hmm.
6 years back, and I would have completely like done a lot of magic and wonder. And this is going to be universal, evergreen. I don't know when this video is watched, but I can tell you this is going to work for sure. One is
Okay.
nobody cares about your product. You must realize that nobody cares about your product, or if you have created a beautiful product and there's no customer, it's absolute useless product. Before you create the product, you must create a community of people. Community comes
Okay.
first, because if you have the community of people who are engaged, what is the reason? You need to figure it out. For in our case, it is the 10 crore club. People are committed, they love the whole aspect of thinking about going to the next level. We are very much charged up, very much pushing each other. We're like talking about, hey, how do I grow there? How do I grow to the next level? We're talking about it, because the more you talk about it, the more you get closer to that as well, isn't it? So now, first element is definitely you must have a community, and then then comes your product. Because if you have an engaged customer, it's like, yeah, it's like an influencer, right? If you have an influencer, anything you say, they will buy.
True. True. True.
So, now in our modern life, of course, you are a LinkedIn coach. Creating that engaged people who want to consume your content is very essential. So if you have that engaged community is one aspect of it, and second is your skill, ability to run ads, to fill up your community. Okay, and if you're able to monetize this part, where you are able to monetize your community and take the money and put it back into ads, and then put more people into the community. That's what is going on for us. It is beautifully working. It's like complete system. People come, they pay, and then you put that money back into the ads, and it keeps multiplying itself. So
Okay.
these are the two things for sure it is going to work. Running ads to build a community, because worst thing that people do is they run an ad and they never call back that customer ever.
Okay. There is no engagement happening. Okay.
There's no engagement. See, either they try to sell to the customer, and the customer might say yes or no. But if the customer says no, they say, okay, fine, I don't like to talk to you as well. But the
Right.
point is, we all know there's a powerful thing called follow up. And the old way of follow up is, sir, how are you doing? You call them back. You bug them. That's the old way of doing it. But nowadays we have a lot of communities. You can also create a community in WhatsApp as well. If you add that person into a community, that's what I'm talking about. As a community, it is known, scientifically proven, that a customer requires 6 to 7 touch points
Exactly. Yes.
before he can become a customer. And we have seen it, like, recently we had a closure for a membership. Oh my God, this person has been wanting to become a member, that person keeps coming to our meetup. Finally, she becomes a member. So that
Okay.
happened because of the community part of it. If I would have said, hey, she's never going to become member, she would not have. Because so it is, you need to realize that doesn't matter the nature of your business. It is a
Right.
process of nurturing the contact. Contact, right? You nurture the relationship. It is not going to happen overnight. Of course, there will be few people who will become customers immediately, but second and third and fourth, nurture, creating the community and creating ads and bringing people together. It is going to be 100% foolproof method to grow your business. If you don't do this, I'm very sure if you don't not doing it, I'll tell you someone who's struggling in their business. Today, look at Apple. It's a community, right? It's so much big fan base. You just launch it. I mean, I used to be an Apple fan. I bought my first ever iPhone in France, standing in a line. So I've done that. So it is a fan thing, right? It's a community part. So you see, Apple has a big fan base.
You
Right?
have that belonging. You have that premium community mindset.
Yeah,
All that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that belonging is what creates the community. And after that, Apple is throwing a lot of products.
Right.
Keep buying it. This is my third Apple Mac book. And I've been on it, and I can't understand why I would use a Windows. I feel so terrible when I use Windows. I feel like I'm doing cheating on Mac or something, right? It is that kind of a craziness is
See
what.
how they have building your pattern of thinking.
Yeah. You see, and that is exactly what I mean, right? Community. A lot of people talk about community. Doing the community is important. If you want to learn the aspect, of course, we'll help you to like build a community for your business. Community can take you to places, and if you're not doing community, you are too much rich. You don't care about your customers, and if you're too much money, you can give it to us. Probably we can use it better for. Don't just run ads. Just running ads without the community is such a stupid thing. I can't even imagine. If
Makes sense.
why would you not nurture that into a community, isn't it?
No, I can relate to it very much because I can see a drastic difference between business owners who are creating content and business owners who are not creating content. There is a huge, vast difference where the people who are not creating content are dependable on various things. They have to depend on technology, digital marketing agencies, multiple other forums. They keep spending a lot of time just because they don't know how to create content.
Yes, yes. Yeah, and this is
Okay,
very
that
like
makes
what we're doing right now live. It's fantastic, right? Like it has been a game changer for me, and yeah, I mean it is fantastic, right? So creating content, like this interview series itself is so easy to do instead of waiting for that perfect time, perfect article, perfect photo, and perfect video. That's why I like live, because I mean we have already done a lot of mistakes in this video already, but we continue because that's the whole part. That's what life is, right? In life, there is no take two. Life is life, and that's what life is also, isn't it? So we continue making mistakes, and we continue. I think I highly recommend, please talk about your business, do lives like this. Nowadays nobody's charging you, right, to do lives. Just do it. Like, there's a Facebook live, there's a LinkedIn live you can do. I think earlier times it was only restricted for few people. Right now,
true.
a lot of people can do lives, isn't it?
That's what that brings to the idea. Like, there are a lot of people who are in the younger generation create a lot of content, and they become a community, and as you said, they become influencers to sell their product or services or other people's product or services because they have built a community of 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, whatever.
Yeah.
But in fact, they don't have any service or product to sell, but they become influencers for the other people to sell, which makes monetization for them
Yes.
in even better way. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
that
Yes.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Right, moving on. For an early stage startup, it's a challenge between customer acquisition as well as product development because it's an
Mhm.
ongoing thing. Both the areas are very, very ongoing thing. So, where do you see the balance, or how a startup should balance these both things? Because both are equally important and both needs a lot of efforts, all that. So, in your mentorship, where do you see that balance and how do you
What are the
nurture them?
terms once again? What is it? The product market fit and
One is the customer acquisition part, business development part, where we are
yes,
keep on acquiring the customer.
yes, yes, yes. Uh-huh.
One area.
Mhm.
Second area is the product development itself because I've just introduced a new product and
Got
it
it.
is in
Got it.
evolving stage.
Got it. Got it. It's a very, very, very good question. Very powerful question. I think. So what is my perspective is what you're asking, right? So I say to
Where do you
this.
strike a balance? Because both are equally important and people
Yeah.
are struggling onto that. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. So I know there is no right answer, but I'm trying to like bring my perspective to this.
Makes sense.
Of course, it is stupid to bring leads when you don't have a product.
Right.
Like I've done
Right.
that. I'm telling you, I've done it. Like, I used to do lives, I used to do shows, and I don't know what I'm going to sell. Right. So there was
Okay.
three months time. It was like stupid, but I wanted to do that, and I'm not saying it is wrong. Okay, and that's why it's a chicken and egg thing, correct? Because what happened is for
Right.
me, because I was also getting these customers in, I was able to understand what is that they need, and I was able to create a product as well out of that fraction I developed as well. Because now rephrasing that is also, now you want to start off by talking to the customers, because if you have the ear to listen to the customers, you are able to spot a pattern. We're all animals
True.
of patterns. As human beings, we're all animals of patterns. So if you're able
Right.
to identify, because problems are always evolving, right? Like last year's problem of Kumar is no more today's problem of Kumar. You see what I'm saying?
True.
Similarly,
True.
customers are also evolving, and you must keep listening to the customer and figure out a product which may not be a temporary fix, but it's, for example, Jandu Balm, right? It's evergreen thing, okay? Because when there is a winter, people get cold and they get headache. So you need to figure out what is a pattern of customers going through there? What are they thinking about, and what are the whole journey of the customer, and what is the product I can do? And also, now this is where the whole product design part is going to come. Okay, the most important thing from that point of view is actually the customer flow. That way, getting the customers is the biggest challenge. And if you don't have the product, nobody said that you must create your own product. In the summit yesterday, I tell you, yesterday I met someone who was saying, "Kashyap, you know what? I am creating this amazing product, and every day I'm adding a new feature." I said, "Hey, how many customers do you have?" He said, "Not yet." You know what? Problem is, we are programmed from our school times that by creating something as a project, and I can showcase to my teacher that, hey, look, I have achieved, we are qualifying the intellectual creation as a success, which is absolutely not true in business.
Okay.
You know, this person, as I said, this person was creating this product, imagining customers running it. I said, who is going to
Okay.
be the customer? Who is going to pay you for this? Because it's a terrible idea. It was absolutely. But he
Okay.
was spending money, time to create this product. So,
Okay.
so the answer is, once you have the customers, because customers is the bloodline of any business. Once you have the customers, you borrow. We do something called Dream 100. You borrow someone else's product and
Okay.
you sell that product. Nobody said it has to be your product. Nobody told you that. In college, school, it was a crime to copy others, take help of others. It was a crime. People would slap us if we copy from other sheets. But in business, it is absolutely opposite. If you take help from others, you're actually going to thrive. Unfortunately, a lot of founders come from that school system and they don't realize it. They think I should do everything on my own, and then I'll become successful and all that
Correct.
nonsense.
Running behind end-to-end operation, sales, customer service, end-to-end, but
Yeah.
lacking the scalability is what we can see most of the time. That's
Yeah.
absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
Fine. So now you have in your journey of entrepreneurial journey or this membership journey, 10 crore club, you have seen a lot of founders, right? So what are the most common mistakes founders did, which you are saying that, okay, this mistakes can be avoided?
Most common mistakes is, I think, uh, the courage. I think we can talk about a lot of tactics, a lot of strategies we can talk about. Okay, and all of us make mistakes. I mean, there's nothing, there's no human being who has not made mistakes. But I think the biggest common thing that I've seen is, in spite of knowing what to do, they don't do it. In spite of knowing, okay, I should do this, I know it is going to help me to grow my business, but they don't do it because something is going on inside their mind.
Okay.
They are they
Maybe
feel
like a
they're not.
self-rejection or
Yes,
self-denial, not moving
yes.
to the next step
So
of action.
that is not spoken enough, because there is so much of depression going on. There is so much of lack of self worth going on, because of which they don't want to close a sale. They are afraid of rejection. Rejection is equal to death for a lot of founders. Therefore, so they avoid, and therefore people end up doing a lot of product development instead of actually going and talking to customers, because they want to avoid the pain of rejection. So that is, I think, that is
True.
a big.
That's exactly the psychology of it. Because I can see the pattern with various other people as well. Like especially when we work with a lot of senior job seekers and all that, they don't even apply for a job because they say, okay, this is not something I'm looking for. I say, okay, at least attend the interview, na.
Yeah.
Right. So what is the point in not even attending interview? You are waiting for a dream company, but once you warm up one day, you can head up to that dream interview and you can perform well.
Yes.
Okay, rather if you keep on waiting for the dream company, and what happens, you completely switched off during that particular day. Rather, if you have a warm up practice, attending multiple interviews, these that, you have a flow, easy flow to set right things. The same thing applies here with a startup where they don't even attempt, or because of what you call self rejection or those kind of things, they don't even take actions, which in a way it is not helping them to do a iterative process. That's
Yes.
what I can say, as you rightly pointed out and aligned to the same concepts. Fine. So moving on to the very next very bigger topic, I'll be moving on, which is more towards investment and mergers and acquisitions,
Mhm.
which you are predominantly into and have seen a lot of things. Now, the very important question is, how should a startup prepare for its first round of funding?
Okay, so I would. I mean, I know these are all technical things that are propped up by all these VCs. So first Series A, Series B, Series like Angel and all that, right? Now
Hmm.
the first step before startup thinks about investment should be about exit, because if you as a founder, you must realize that you are preparing a vehicle for an investor for an exit, correct?
Right,
so
right, right. Okay.
so if you already, because now from that point of view you have created a startup keeping responsibility of an investor as an exit point. So therefore, if you have already defined the whole exit journey and how the startup is going to be bought by a strategic buyer or through an IPO or through other means, if you have created that exit path, that means you're already creating a path, and you're also informing your investor that this is going to be your journey of exit as well. So if you put your 100 rupees, it is becoming 500 rupees. In what timeline you can prove it? So that is how you can prepare yourself. I think that's a big important tip that founders need to work on, because keeping the end in mind is very critical. And all this Series A, B, it's all a process in the whole journey of exit, eventual exit, basically.
Okay, okay. That relates to my next question. So, what are some of the red flags that would make an investor hesitant to invest in a startup?
Fantastic. So, I mean, very simple and powerful thing is, um, it is what I'm saying is going to be counterintuitive, but because that is a fact as well. When
Hmm.
someone comes to me or any investor, they go and talk to investors and say, "Hey, there is nobody like us, first ever or something." And of course, there are some areas which is going to be this is going to be important. But when a startup comes and talks to an investor that there is nobody like us, first time ever, it is a massive red flag. Although, and it's counterintuitive, I'm telling you, although it is a good thing to hear, to tell to your friends and family and to the market that first ever, etc. But when you come and talk the same language to the investor, what are you communicating actually behind the scenes, behind the underlying communication is, I am going to like screw up your money for an experiment.
Okay,
I'm doing an
okay.
experiment. It might fail. Nobody has done it before. This is the first time ever experiment.
My God.
And people, from the investors, people can really smell it.
Right, right, right. They'll only take calculated risk and they know it.
So risk is very important for investors. So they're looking for how will it fail, and as soon as they say nobody else has done it, it's absolutely like a red flag.
Okay, okay. That's a keyword for any startup who is watching this video, where they have to avoid consciously on how they are pitching their entire system. Fine, fine, fine. Makes a lot of sense. Now, you've been into various mergers and acquisition opportunities and all that for your startup community, 10 Crore Club. And what is the criteria do you consider to approach this mergers and acquisition opportunities?
Like when I take up opportunities, what are the things that I look for?
For these startups, what are the criteria you will be considering to approach your mergers and acquisitions kind of a strategy?
So when would I get excited about an opportunity, right?
Correct, correct,
So
correct.
when I know a startup can actually make uh, a startup has a unique technology and a unique approach, which
Hmm.
when integrated under a larger ecosystem can make the larger ecosystem double, triple fast.
Okay.
I know this is an excellent opportunity. Therefore, we love startups now also, because
Hmm.
startups are those powerful places which has done that uh, tech part. Typically big companies don't have that capability, the thinking bandwidth to create something brand new. If I know a new angle of doing a business, which I know if I put that into a bigger ecosystem which can multiply that business, I love that type of opportunity. Therefore, the merger acquisition keeps running around that whole thesis behind it. So we'll keep looking for, which can actually speed up someone's
Okay.
business. So we're always looking, always wanting to hear in the market. It's like talent acquisition in cricket, right? We're looking for who is a better bowler,
Hmm.
you see, and then they plug. For example, Bumrah is a good bowler, right? So we plug the Bumrah into a cricket team, and cricket team performs better.
Right, right, right. Okay.
We're trying to spot that new next talent, next thing to integrate into a bigger ecosystem. That's what is an acquisition.
Okay, I'm just getting at the keyword like, okay, if at all there is a multiplying effect, that works better.
Yes,
Or
absolutely. Yeah.
if it is a platform which created for one particular community, that might work. I'm just relating to these platforms like Book My Show, Redbus, Airbnb, multiple other things. They don't have a product or services, but they are creating a platform for a community which multiplies the effect and creates opportunities for one particular community that way. So do
Yes.
you have you came across that kind of a sense when you are getting into these mergers and acquisitions
Yes.
and
Yes.
people succeeding because of this multiplying
Yeah, yeah. I
capability?
think everything. I think, see. I think if you actually look at many businesses which get funded, get acquired, they are either doing a good systems-driven business, or they're a platform that can be replicated, that can be created, that can be taken as a base for other companies to like start working around. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. So platform is key, and if you see, right, a lot of these funded startups are platform businesses. It's a
Right.
big topic on its own. Like we have in our membership, we have done a 1 hour training on that on its own. It's fantastic. If you learn the art of creating a platform out of a business, your game is going to shift completely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In that sense, like there are a lot of mobile apps which is reducing a lot of time and energy or creating some communities and all that. You mean to say that mobile creating mobile apps can be growing in next 5 years because a lot of system and process, other things getting compressed and aligned into mobile app rather than depending on websites and multiple other areas
Yes,
where
yes.
just because of a mobile app I'm finishing it off certain things.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I would not say a certain mobile app, or it can be a web app. It doesn't matter. The idea
Okay.
is, if it is a good platform, it is connecting the supply and demand. If
Okay.
it is speeding up the whole transaction without your physical manual intervention. If you're able to achieve that, it's a platform, right? There is a Practo, there is a Amazon, there is a lot of things which are platforms where you are not actually interacting with Amazon at all, actually, right? Like it is a
Mhm.
automation of the buyer and seller.
Mhm.
That is
Fine.
what is a platform business. Yeah.
Okay. Aligning to that question, like the very important alignment, like what role does this strategic investment play in a startup's scaling process, and how can founders identify this right investors for their, uh, you know, scaling startup? That is a kind of way which I wanted to understand
Yeah.
how that strategic investment play a role in a
Yeah,
startup
so,
life.
so I think we need to understand the difference between a strategic investor, because we are always exposed to these VCs and angels. We've seen all these your stories getting so much inspired and like hyped up. Like, oh, I'm going to be the next person who's going to raise this $1 million, and I showed my parents like all that. We have that created that thing. It is actually bad, because as I said, 99.999% people don't raise investment from these VCs.
Hmm,
Okay, and
hmm, hmm,
nobody talks about the failures of the startups also, correct?
hmm, hmm, hmm.
So now, I lost the question. What is the question? The question again, like, because it's late. Yeah,
What role does strategic investment play
yeah.
in
So
this
coming
startup?
back, yeah. So what is a strategic investment? Strategic investment is when a bigger company
Hmm.
invests into a small company. It is called a strategic investment.
Okay.
Got it? So that is what is a strategic investment. So now it is like it is like it is like partnership. Like, if you are able to join forces, for example, if you are let's say, if you are a recruitment, uh, let's say recruitment AI startup, where you're able to automate a lot of application processing, and imagine you join forces with a big recruitment agency which is already serving a lot of clients. So you integrate together so that the whole thing will become faster, right? So now, technically speaking, this is a strategic investment also. Strategic means there
Mhm.
is a synergy going on between the two companies, and in that process also, when you have that synergy, financial investors get excited about being part of those deals.
Fantastic. Makes a lot of sense. Moving on to the core area of your 10 crore club, which is into mindset and mentorship, especially for
Mhm.
the startups.
Mhm.
So, as a mentor, what's the most important mindset shift you're trying to instill with your startup founders who are members of your community? What is the mindset shift which you are instilling for everyone for that matter?
Yeah, I think I get a lot of inspiration um, uh, from death. I get a lot of inspiration from death because that is the ultimate reality for everyone. Everyone is going of us is going to die,
Okay.
and the lies we tell ourselves is that we are going to be alive here forever, and um, and that creates a lot of problems in life. And the good part about thinking about death, if you know that death can happen to anyone at any time, if you're
Mm,
aware of it,
mm.
then you become responsible and you go highest speed right now. There is no
True.
holding back anything, right? There's no shame, there is no fear of judgment of what mistakes I'll make, because this time will never come back again. This is my moment, this is my time. I decide that I'm free. I don't need someone's
Mm.
permission to be free. I live my life and I die my life. So
My God.
the mindset that I want people to think about is 10x mindset, the 10x effort. Because if you put, because I always believe that there is the next level of effort we always all of us can do. For
Mm.
example, I am speaking low and I know I can speak louder as well, right? There is a higher level that I am not even utilizing,
True.
and all of us have that higher level which we are like not actually like going our 100% yet, and that is the whole point of it. We should all go at the highest possible. That is the best utilization of the talent God has gifted us with. We should live that out 100%.
Mm-hmm. I mean, relating to a lot of spiritual element you have opened up because I was not expecting this. I was thinking like you will give us some psychological element, barriers, and all that. But you have went through that extreme of spiritual element to it, which completely making sense and aligning to that. Fine. So any startup for that matter, this first 5 years is very, very, very complicated. Okay. So what do you believe is the biggest barrier preventing these founders from succeeding in this first 5 years? Because first 5 years, if you're shut down, there is no looking back. It's shut down and you're going to a job.
Yeah,
Okay. But first 5 years, if you cross, then there is a possibility of a lot of scale up.
yeah,
So uh, where do you see the barrier which is preventing from again from the mindset perspective
yeah,
or
yeah. So good question. So I think the it is not exactly 5 years. It is about, probably let us put it as uh, five breakthrough zones. Breakthrough zones. I think that is
okay,
the right way to put it. Right. The
okay,
it's a journey of exit of the entrepreneur. First
hmm,
step is, of course, all of us are solopreneurs. We do everything on our own. We do everything on our own in business, sales, marketing, everything we're doing on our own. The second step is,
hmm,
of course, where we bring in employees. So a lot of
hmm,
like this, there are multiple breakout points
hmm.
that can be achieved within a year as well. There's
Within a
nothing but
year?
a five.
Okay.
Yeah, everything can happen if you actually are aware of the breakout points,
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
which is of course related to the revenue you make. If you
hmm.
have a good revenue, which you can actually speed up the whole process. That's what I'm saying. So my point is, if you think it is going to be 5 years, you can bring that forward, crush that of all your thoughts process, that it will take 5 years time, crush it down into a 10x zone.
My God, I think that is the biggest, I mean, area which we'll all have to work out because we think that it become 5 years, and we are only, giving the communication to the nature that it will take 5 years, and we ourselves making a lot of barriers. I think you have broken the thought process of even in first year you can make all the system and process so that you can scale faster. Absolutely making sense. Fine. Now, since you're involving with a lot of startups and networking with a lot of people, meeting a lot of summit, you could have seen a lot of founders and startups. So, what do you see is the future of this ecosystem of startup, especially in relations to the HNI and getting high value investments, mergers and acquisitions, strategic investments?
Yeah,
That point of view, can you show some
yeah,
light
yeah.
on where do
So
you see the future?
Yeah, so and very good question, because I think that will also tell us what is this whole 10 crore club all about, right? What is this whole opportunity
Yes.
about?
Yes.
Now, today I went to this Thai summit, and on the stage, all these big achievers had come. They were like talking about how I did this. These were the things I did. All the things. It's all amazing, all cool, right? But
Mhm.
then the reality is it about you? Is it going to be helpful for you? They have achieved it. They are big. They are successful. But what about you? Correct. So
Mhm.
in our ecosystem, we tie together the connection with an HNI from the money point of view, that
Mhm.
we want to prepare your business so that you can do business with them, so that you can close a sale with them, so that you can get that money from them. It is not about the
Mhm.
inspiration or anything like that, right? It is about helping you as a founder to also earn so much money, so that you can also go to that level. We believe everyone has a capability to go to the next level. Our intention of our community is to make sure to help founders to realize their ultimate potential, which is the complete growth, it's like a flower, right? The founders can flower into something beautiful thing, and we want to speed up the
Evolve.
pace. We want to speed up because
Mhm.
every entrepreneur should realize their complete potential. We all have a spark of it. You also have a spark of it. I also have a spark of it. There is a bigger evolution that we all can, like, flower into. And 99% of people don't even realize their ultimate potential. They die and go to the grave.
Okay. Okay.
It is your responsibility, job, and obligation to live the 100% what you think, your visualization that you thought. You must claim that. It is your responsibility. If you can
Mhm.
visualize it, it is going to happen as well.
Fine, fine, fine. So that gives me an idea. Okay, when you are going for an expansion, don't bring your terms and conditions with your limitations, restrictions. The nature is ready to give. Only
Yeah.
thing is you have to set up, meet a lot of people, see the possibility of expansion, and you don't have to create a product and service for that matter. Because in last 1 hour conversation, that is my understanding, where people have created that lot of platforms, created communities where they have stretched beyond their limitations and made profit, right?
Yeah,
I think.
one more stupid thing I've seen, Kumar, is, did you know that there are 95% of tech startups, who have failed? That means there was some genius who created this product and has put it into some shelf in some useless something somewhere.
Hmm.
So why don't you buy it out from him? Why, it is so stupid to recreate something which has already been done somewhere, right? You just need to ask, hey, do you know someone who has done this before? Borrow it, buy it out.
Hmm.
It's absolutely fine, no problem. Nobody said you should do it
Okay.
from scratch. You should do it on your own. Nobody
Hmm.
said that.
It's not like your degree where people ask, okay, where is your degree? Where is your MBA, right? So it's any product you can make it and monetize it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and I have a
makes
lot
sense.
of things to say about education system. As you have seen, I've already spoken quite a lot about it.
Right,
This is
right,
a
right.
real reason for all of us struggles. It's we don't realize it, but it's a reason. It's a core reason for all of us to struggle financially today, right? It is
True.
the programming they created, that work hard and everything is going to be fine. It's absolute BS and nonsense. It is.
True, true, true. So let's bring it up to the concluding part of it. I need two best answers from you. One will be, what is the best book which you can recommend to startups, especially when they are at a growing stage? Any book which can help them. In your experience, what kind of books you can
Yeah,
suggest?
so I think I wish I knew this book long back. This There's a book by J. Abraham. I think it is, the title of the book is How to Get Most Out of What You Have.
Okay.
It's all about the concept of leverage. I think it's beautiful. It's amazing. Okay, it is life changer. And as an entrepreneur, it is your responsibility to learn the art of leverage. And this book is all about that. And I don't know why entrepreneurs don't do what J. Abraham talks so much. And if you actually read it, you'll figure out, oh my God, what nonsense I was doing actually. So
Oh, oh. Hmm.
all the things I told you about, getting some of those products is an art form of leveraging. And that book is definitely an essential, must read for sure, 100%. And of course, I recommend who. I think there is a book called not what is the name of the book is called not how but who, or something like this. Okay, in that way,
Mhm.
you know, the right who something. There's a book called not how but who. The idea of that
Okay.
book is basically you don't need to do everything on your own, but you need to figure out the right who can do the thing for you.
Fine, fine, fine. Okay,
So
okay.
I think both, one is the art of leveraging, and there is about getting that talent into your business. Both are very essentials.
Mm-hmm. So before we end up, as you have seen your own entrepreneurial journey and meeting a lot of founders and startups, one message to entrepreneurs that okay, this is what you have to do, or what is the biggest advice you can give, so that we can conclude with that and then have the rest of the
Yeah.
day
So
begin very positive.
the message is message is um, go after the money, guys. Go after the money. Go aggressively after the money. Okay, everything else is nonsense. Everything else is absolute nonsense. All this tech babble, I know I have, like, if it does not produce revenue, it is a useless product, useless for you, useless for the customer. That means you need to modify something that creates value, right? So
Mhm.
if there is money, someone is paying money for something, that means you know how to create value also, correct? So go after the
Mhm.
money. Ask yourself, what will give me money, or when will people give me money? This is the right question to ask. Keep asking yourself, right? Like asking yourself, what makes money? This is a very simple but very profound question, and we do everything apart from making money, correct? It's all about that
True.
program. What will make
We
money?
are getting lost in the entire process, and we forget the primary thing, which is monetization. Yes.
Yes, yes, and that should be the first thing. That's exactly what we are. Tenko Club is absolutely about making money, no
Mhm.
other distractions, because our time is
Right.
limited. We have limited time, and how can we actually make a lot of money for ourselves, for our family? That is a responsibility we leave behind for the planet. It's not nobody takes money from this planet, but the idea is the impact that you leave behind. People will remind
Mhm.
you for what you have created for them. You see, all we today we are using electricity because there was one inventor who created electricity. Now that is also our responsibility to leave behind, so that we create a planet, an ecosystem which can live beyond and creates a lot of value around it. That's our payback. That is our basic responsibility to give back, not just consuming, becoming, like doing all those, kana pina sona. Anyone does that, right? In a lot of hundreds of years, thousands and millions and billions of people have died doing that, but there are
Mhm.
only few people who create impact,
True.
and they
True.
move our humanity forward.
Fine. 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 So thank you so much for spending your valuable time after meeting a lot of people and this end of the day and spending more than 1 hour sharing your knowledge, advice, which will be definitely a value addition and new way of thinking for the startup, because all along they could have come with a very strict pattern, very limited pattern of thinking. But I think this element of advice, element of thought process makes them think, breaking their barriers, breaking their terms and conditions, and move towards scaling up in a very, very larger way. As you said, expansion is the key. So thank you so much for joining today, and looking forward for more sessions.
Thank you. I wish you all the best. You have done a fantastic job. I think you'll do brilliant. Thank you so much, Kumar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.